Hello, welcome back. In this video, you're going to learn about address mapping part 2. So what is the agenda? We will be learning about mapping from physical to logical address. Then reverse address resolution protocol or RARP will be discussed. After that, bootstrap protocol or BOOTP will be the point of discussion, followed by dynamic host configuration protocol or DHCP will be discussed. Physical to logical address. Many a times it happens that we know the physical address of the device, but we do not know the logical address. So this happens when there is a diskless station which has just booted. It can know its physical address by looking into its interface or the network interface card that is installed in the computer, which contains the MAC address or the physical address of the device. But it does not know the logical address or the IP address. That means the network to which it is connected. And there are sometimes many organizations which have huge demand of logical addresses, but they are not given so much of address space. So they basically use it for address on demand technique. That is, the addresses are given to these organizations in a short time lease basis. Now, what are the different types of protocols that are used to map the physical address to logical address? There are basically three types of protocols which we will be discussing in this video. One is reverse address resolution protocol, also known as RARP. The second one is bootstrap protocol, known as BOOTP. And the third one is Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol or DHCP. Let us learn them one by one. RARP. Let's look at the concept of RARP. There is an RARP request, and this is basically given by the client machine. This request is given by the client machine to know the IP address of the device. And there will be a reply message, which is the RARP reply message that will be given by the server machine, and it will return the IP address of the machine. And since there is a mapping between the physical address and the logical address. Now, there are certain disadvantages of RARP. This RARP broadcasting happens at the data link layer. Now, as we know, the data link layer means node to node delivery, and this messages cannot go outside the network. That means when there is a possibility of internetworking, this data link layer broadcasting is not possible or it is not useful. Since it does not pass through the network layer, so this type of messages for RARP has this type of advantages that it cannot be used for internetworking. Hence, we need RARP server for each of the network required. Like if this is a source, this source may be connected to different networks. So hence, there should be an RARP server for each of the, let's say this is the source and this is the server machine. So we need RARP server for each of the networks to which the source is connected. So these are the disadvantages of data link layer broadcasting or RARP. Let us look at BOOTP or bootstrap protocol. This BOOTP protocol is basically a client server application layer protocol, unlike RARP, which is a data link layer protocol. So BOOTP messages are encapsulated in UDP, and these are further IP encapsulated. Hence, there is an intermediary or relay which is required in the entire transfer of messages. let's say we have a BootP client over here and it should send a broadcast request for getting the IP address. But let's say we have a BootP client which wants to send a BootP broadcast request to know its IP address from the BootP server. But this BootP client does not know the IP address or the physical address of the BootP server. So hence, there is a relay agent which is required in between. This broadcast request message is captured by the relay agent, and this relay agent then transfers this unicast request to this router, and from the router it goes to the internet. From the internet it goes to another router of the other network where we have the BootP server. So this is also a unicast request. From here it is received by the BootP server, then the BootP server receives the message, and from there it sends the reply message back to the BootP client through the nodes of the network in the same fashion by sending its IP address. Next, we turn our attention to DHCP or Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. Now, this BootP protocol, which we have studied earlier, is static in nature and not dynamic. But this Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol is an address allocation protocol, and it provides address dynamically. There can be 4 different types. One is the static, second one is a dynamic, and manual and automatic. If it is a static concept, then it is similar to BootP. Next, we can have dynamic configuration protocol, where dynamically on demand basis the DHCP server will send the IP addresses to DHCP clients. Now the address mapping can be either done manually or it can also be done automatically. In this video, we have learned about physical to logical addressing. We have learned about 3 different protocols. One is the RARP or Reverse Address Resolution Protocol. The second one is the BootP protocol or the Bootstrap protocol. The third one is the DHCP or Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. To recall, RARP works at the data link layer and has certain disadvantages. This BootP protocol works at the application layer and is advantageous as compared to RARP. DHCP also works at application level and it has advantages over RARP and BootP protocol. This BootP protocol is static in nature, and Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol can be static as well as it can be dynamic. Thank you.